Well, most of Syria's oil fields are controlled by the US-backed Kurdish-led groups that oppose President Assad. The country is going through a severe fuel shortage right now, forcing the government to close down state agencies for at least 2 days this month. The power generators that supply factories and phone networks and other institutions are all affected. We can get more on that now with independent writer and commentator Dr. Naseer Alomari. Good to have you with us, Dr. Alomari. So Syria actually used to export oil, didn't it, before the conflict? A very different situation to what we're seeing today.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. They used to use some of the oil that these fields produced, and even sell some and make a profit. However, that has changed since the revolution in Syria. However, they at different times they were buying that oil from the Kurdish Autonomous Authority, but that has not been adequate for a country that is going through a dire situation when it comes to energy because of the sanctions and because their allies really have not come through to help out, like Iran and Russia. So I don't know where the Syrian people get their strength from, but these people are suffering tremendously, and there is basically no economy going, and people can't even go to work to make some money and make a living. So
Right.
This is really dire, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation. And Iran had stepped in, hadn't it, to fill the gap, but the Western sanctions have put a stop to most of the shipments to Syria. So what options does Assad have to get out of this situation?
I guess they're waiting for a change in Iran because they have blamed this current crisis on the problems that their ally Iran has had. So they're hoping that some of these shipments, which are illegal, will find their way to their shores. But that is not certain because of the sanctions and because of the deteriorating situation in Iran. So really there is no plan, and announcing holidays just to save some fuel is simply outstanding, and it complicates life for Syrians who, as it is, have difficulty making a living.
Well, where does all of this leave Assad? He is, of course, still very isolated on the world stage and indeed in the region. He recently resisted calls to hold a meeting with the Turkish president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Where does all of this leave him, would you say?
Well, that leaves him with the only option that he has practiced over the years, and that is to keep, oppressing his people. And until recently, he killed and injured several demonstrators in Al-Suwaida, which is the Druze minority in the southern Syria. People were simply one person was killed, several were injured, just because they voiced their concern that their city is not getting enough fuel, is not getting enough support from the government to survive. So I guess the message is clear from this regime, and that is as bad as things get. He will stick to power and basically kill anybody who challenges that power.